Good afternoon. I'm here today with Amy Liu from our Taiwan operation. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you, Steve, for inviting me.
I think it's been a bit of a tough couple of weeks there in Taiwan. So I just thought it'd be a good time to get a bit of an update from you on the ground. Firstly, I know that you were very near the epicenter when the actual earthquake hit. So how were things in Hualien? I think it is the city with the epicenter.
Yes, well, the earthquake was last week on April the 3rd in the morning at 7:58. So I was indeed in Hualien. I was actually with my sister's family. We were down there in the indigenous village doing work on Monday and Tuesday. The earthquake hit actually on Wednesday morning.
Right.
We actually did plan to go into Taroko Gorge that morning. So luckily we were really tired and we decided not to. So and the second lucky part was that I was actually doing my run at the beach. So I wasn't in my apartment on the 8th floor. Still, it was really horrifying and it was a very traumatic experience.
Okay. And so how are the people of Hualien now? I mean, I guess it's been a lot of aftershocks, I imagine. Are they coping okay?
It will probably take a while to recover in the city of Hualien. And the most beautiful place called Taroko Gorge is definitely destroyed. And that's where you actually see a lot of pictures of me on the news. That where a lot of people were stuck actually up in the mountains for days and days. And I was in Hualien City, which is about 45 minutes away from Taroko Gorge. And both Hualien City and the gorge, we felt very strongly. In Taipei, I just did a little Google search that in Hualien was about how we felt. It's about 6 at the level of 6, and in Taipei was 5, and Taichung was at about 4, and then also in Kaohsiung was at about 4. So I guess there are lots of rescue teams coming in, and right now we have lots of people. Of course, one building collapsed, and then the mountain, of course, the rocks all fell down, and lots of people were, were hurt. And we looked at the number. I think there are 13 people that are actually killed that we have the record and the references to. So, it's really sad because Taroko Gorge is one of my favorite places, in not just in Taiwan, in the world. To see it destroy like that is very heartbroken. And so all the people that I know of in Hualien all trying to see what we can do to help out.
Right.
There are people who are in the hospitals, all over around Taiwan. So roughly, I think the last time I read it was yesterday, it was somewhere about 1,100 people that are in different hospitals and trying to get medication. But Taiwan medical system is quite good, so they're all being taken care of.
Right.
So
yeah,
so
Taiwan
it
was
is very sad.
I had heard that Taiwan is quite prepared, for these disasters. So I guess the local authorities have done a good job to minimize the dangers, I guess.
Yes, indeed. And in Hualien, we do have an organization called Tzu Ji, and they're really known around the world to go out and rescue and help when there are global events. And so it actually is in the city of Hualien. So even for those who lost their homes, they do have beautiful tents. Actually, I think we got lots of appraisal for having really good tents that are really safe for people to stay in. Lots of schools are now being used as the site for them to stay, and lots of people, and Taiwanese are very into doing volunteer work anyway. And for this particular event, I'm sure everyone is coming together to support, from small vendors giving food to the people to large NGO organizations coming in to support, as well as the government coming in to do what they can. Right. So we're all working together, I feel, particularly for this beautiful city of Hualien and beautiful gorge.
Right. Thank you. Okay. The majority of our clients are obviously not in Hualien, more so in Taipei, Taichung, Kaohsiung. So, for those locations, what did the earthquake mean for them? I imagine that things held up pretty well in Taipei and there weren't too many concerns. Would I be correct in that?
Right. So the quake was on the East Coast. And so the majority of our expats were living on the West Coast in Taipei, Taichung, and Kaohsiung. And in particular, they're living in very well built and newer buildings in Taiwan. So Taiwan since 2000 had very high standards when they built the buildings to, of course, to prevent or to, you know, make sure that they're safe during the earthquakes. So I did get messages from a few families where they have fallen lamps and, you know, different objects in the house. At the same time, everyone is really safe, right? And so it just basic, you know, understanding on how they can claim that from the landlord and what to report to the landlord. So we've been taking care of them, and no one was hurt. And in Taipei, you know, was a little bit stronger than in Taichung and Kaohsiung. And at the same time, people were probably just a bit, you know, shocked, you know, with the tremors, you know, in different cities. Luckily, all our clients are in the cities that are a bit away from the epicenter.
Okay. And how about aftershocks and things like that? Have they, I mean, are they felt in Taipei and Taichung and
Oh, yes, everywhere. I think there were about 700 aftershocks. That's what I read in the news. And we can certainly feel, when I was in Hualien still, I think there were 2 to 3 aftershocks that were still quite strong.
Right.
So even until last night, we can still feel the tremors everywhere. And particularly, of course, in Hualien, still much stronger.
Right, right. Okay. Okay, and probably just for our, you know, for our viewers, you know, when we first entertain people when they first come to, you know, to Taiwan, obviously we speak about earthquakes being an issue. Now, can you give us an idea of how we sort of, you know, talk to people about this in programs and the information that we provide them for, you know, regarding earthquakes and those sort of things that they're prepared when these sorts of things happen?
I believe everyone do ask this question, doesn't matter where they come from, to Taiwan. They often ask about, I want to be at the lower floor, not at the higher floor due to the earthquakes. And so we often tell them what to do in case of earthquakes. And so we also have the information in our package to tell people what to do in case of earthquake as well too. Unfortunately, we can't predict the earthquakes, right? And so you just have to best, you know what to do in case of emergency and during earthquakes. So I really feel all our clients have done well. No one has cried or yelled or
Right.
cry out for help, to me as what had happened and things like that. So I think most people are all very calm. So definitely we do share with them in our programs when they come out, and I really feel every single family has always asked this question about earthquakes in Taiwan. Typhoon and earthquakes are two things that we always mention in our programs. So yeah, so I do feel that they do get that information in our package in terms of what to do during earthquakes.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. Okay. Well, thank you for for making the time today. I thought it was important just to get an update from the ground. Hopefully the aftershocks will be. And I've been through a few earthquakes myself, Christchurch, New Zealand, and of course the big earthquake in Japan about 12 years ago now. So I certainly know how long the aftershocks can sometimes continue, but slowly as time goes by. They get more spread out and that sort of thing, but everybody does need to take care in the meantime, because there likely are to be a couple of bigger aftershocks that will come along from time to time. So I hope you stay safe there, and
thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, we'll all try to stay safe, and I think we're all a lot more cautious now when we feel the quakes now.
Right. Well, thank you very much. I wish you all the very best for the rest of the day, and we'll speak again soon. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Steve. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.